Imagine you're sitting in the cockpit of an F-35. You still can't see the enemy. Your radar can't see it either. But the aircraft already knows there's a threat ahead. Information is coming in from multiple sources at the same time. A satellite hundreds of miles away has detected movement. Another F-35 has shared data on an airborne target. An airborne early warning aircraft sees everything happening far beyond the horizon. A drone flying ahead has detected an active radar. Within seconds, the F-35 fuses all of that information into a single picture. The pilot hasn't even started searching for the enemy yet, but the aircraft is already showing where it could be. That's the moment you realize the F-35 stopped being just a fighter jet a long time ago. It has become the center of a massive information network. And that may be the biggest revolution in modern warfare. Most people still judge military power the same way they did 20 years ago. Who has more tanks? Who has more fighter jets? Who has more warships? But the modern battlefield is changing. Today, it's becoming less important who has more weapons. What's becoming more important is who gets information first, who analyzes it faster, and who makes decisions first. That's why the F-35 is often described as more than just a fifth-generation fighter. It's called a flying computer. And that's not an exaggeration. Its radar performs multiple tasks at once. The distributed aperture system provides a 360-degree view around the aircraft, and its electro-optical sensors detect targets at long range. Its electronic warfare suite analyzes enemy emissions, and its software fuses all of that information into one clear picture. For the pilot, that changes everything. There's no longer a need to scan 10 different displays. The aircraft has already put the information together. That allows decisions to be made much faster. And this is only the beginning. Imagine two pilots. The first is flying a fourth-generation fighter. He sees only what his own radar can detect. The second is sitting in the cockpit of an F-35. He sees what the satellite sees, what another aircraft sees, what a warship at sea sees, what a drone flying dozens of miles ahead sees. The two pilots haven't even encountered each other yet, but one of them already knows far more about the enemy, and that alone could decide the outcome of the fight before the first missile is ever launched. That's why modern warfare is becoming less like a duel between two fighter jets, and more like a competition between two information networks. That raises an interesting question. If one aircraft can receive information from dozens of different systems at the same time, why send it into the most dangerous part of the battlefield at all? That's how a new idea was born. Instead of sending one aircraft alone, send drones alongside the pilot. Not one, several. Today, that's exactly what the U.S. Air Force is developing through its Collaborative Combat Aircraft program. The concept is simple. A reconnaissance drone flies ahead. It's the first to search for threats. A second carries additional missiles. A third conducts electronic warfare. A fourth can act as a decoy, forcing the enemy to waste expensive missiles. Meanwhile, the F-35 pilot coordinates the entire formation. In effect, a single aircraft gains the capabilities of a small air squadron. That's why the recent test of the YFQ-44A Fury attracted so much attention. During testing, it successfully launched an air-to-air missile. That alone doesn't mean drones will completely replace fighter pilots, but it does show where air combat is heading. Future aerial battles will increasingly look like a team effort. The pilot will no longer fight alone. Instead, a group of autonomous drones will operate alongside the aircraft, constantly sharing information, and that's their greatest advantage. But aviation is only part of this revolution. The same transformation is already reshaping naval warfare. Not long ago, the backbone of every navy was made up of large warships. Today, they're increasingly forced to defend themselves against dozens of small, unmanned surface vessels. Imagine a warship suddenly detecting 20 fast-moving targets at the same time. Which ones are carrying explosives? Which ones are just decoys? Those decisions have to be made in seconds. That's why modern warships are becoming more than missile platforms. They're becoming powerful data processing centers. Algorithms help crews analyze the situation and identify the most dangerous threats much faster. The same transformation is happening on land. Many people think FPV drones are the revolution. In reality, they're just one part of a much larger system. A satellite detects the target. A reconnaissance drone verifies the coordinates. Software analyzes the video feed. Another drone confirms the information. Only then is the strike drone given the command to attack. None of these systems is the most important. Each one plays a specific role. That's why today's advantage doesn't come from a single machine. It comes from the entire network. And that's exactly why the F-35 is often called a flying command center. It doesn't just launch missiles. It gathers information from dozens of different platforms and, in the near future, will coordinate groups of autonomous drones. That's what the future of warfare is really about. Not building the perfect fighter jet or the perfect drone, but connecting hundreds of different systems into a single network. That's why the United States is investing heavily not only in new military hardware, but also in software, secure data sharing, and artificial intelligence that can help commanders make decisions faster than their adversaries. That brings us to the biggest question. Does all of this mean humans are no longer needed? No. Despite the rapid growth of autonomous systems, the decision to use weapons is still made by a human. What's changing is the human's role. In the past, a pilot had to find the enemy. Today, the aircraft presents the pilot with a complete picture. Satellites, sensors, drones, and algorithms now do much of that work instead. There's one more factor that's just as important: cost. A modern fighter jet costs well over $100 million. A destroyer costs several billion. And a single missile can cost more than dozens of FPV drones. That's why more and more countries are investing in large groups of relatively inexpensive autonomous systems that work together. And perhaps that's the real military revolution of the 21st century. Not the arrival of a new fighter jet or a new drone, but the moment all of these systems became part of a single network. We've talked about the F-35, drones, unmanned surface vessels, satellites, and sensors. But none of them is the ultimate weapon on its own. The real advantage comes from the way they work together. Maybe the most powerful weapon of the future isn't a missile, or a fighter jet, or even artificial intelligence. It's information. And whoever learns to use it faster than everyone else may end up defining the rules of 21st century warfare. What do you think? Has information already become the most powerful weapon in modern warfare? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Here, we break down the military technologies that are already shaping the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.